Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I want to do something for Mexie Mex. Mexie, thank you so much for your support of this site. You have been a friend to me and to this vlog from, I can't remember how long actually, but it's been a very long time. And I appreciate your friendship, and I appreciate the fact that you watch. I appreciate the fact that you comment often. And I'm happy to do what you ask. And you've asked for a discussion of John Henry Anderson, also known as the Great Wizard of the North. John Henry Anderson was born 1814, crossed over 1874. He was a Scottish magician. Anderson helped bring the art of magic from street performance into theaters. You've heard that about the great Robert Houdin. You've heard that about Isaac Fox. It is a number of performers that really moved magic from busking into legitimate theater. John Henry Anderson is one of those performers. I want to share something with you. This is from page 87. By the way, The Secret History of Magic is my favorite general history of magic. I like it better than any other I've read, and I read them constantly. But let me share with you something from page 87 that I think is particularly insightful when it comes to the character of John Henry Anderson. There was little mystery surrounding John Henry Anderson. Everyone knew who he was. And when he performed a demonstration of clairvoyance, nobody thought it was real. His version of second sight was the sort of thing that only a conjurer would do. He asked a gentleman to write a message on a piece of paper and place it into a case. Other members of the audience were requested to place small objects into the case. He revealed which objects were in the case and what was on the paper. Then the objects vanished from the case and appeared in a different case. And the piece of paper with the message on it reappeared inside an egg. I think that's hysterical. Now remember, folks, I'm a mentalist. Now let me share with you why that's hysterical. If you're doing mentalism, you don't want to convey the idea of trickery to your audience. So the fact that it reappears somewhere else implies that he had access to it all along, if you're really thinking about it. But John Henry Anderson, that wasn't important to John Henry Anderson. The purity of mind reading or mentalism was not his primary objective. His primary objective was entertainment. That's why I think that one paragraph in The Secret History of Magic is so important, because it conveys to you that the priority, the character of John Henry Anderson was, I want to entertain my audience. I want to do the most entertaining thing. And that's pretty entertaining, I have to admit. Sir Walter Scott is said to have given him the stage name the Great Wizard of the North. Anderson declared, and this provides, I think, some insight into what I'm trying to share with you. It is the duty of all magicians to give entertainment. Let me read that again. This is a quote from John Henry Anderson. It is the duty of all magicians to give entertainment. If the effect was not enthusiastically received, Henry Anderson would remove it from his act. So he went out and he performed over and over again. And when the audience loved it, it stayed. And when the audience didn't love it, it was out. Because entertainment was his priority. One of the earliest magicians to attain a high level of world renown. He did the bullet catch. He might not have invented the bullet catch, but he popularized the bullet catch. He also performed the rabbit from the hat trick, and he is said to be the first magician to perform this effect on stage. He certainly popularized the effect. So if you wonder where the rabbit in the hat trick came from, at least where the popularity came from, John Henry Anderson. You can thank John Henry Anderson for that icon of magic. Now let me go through a timeline with you. I like to do this. I hope it doesn't bore you, but you know what? When you're trying to put together a biography of someone, one of the things that I like to do is just put the year, what happened, year, what happened, year, what happened. It helps me see chronologically how this person's career developed. That's what I did with John Henry Anderson. I'm going to put it in the notes below so you can access it. 1824, at the age of 10, John Henry Anderson is orphaned. 1830, at the age of 16, he begins performing with a traveling dramatic company. 1831, at the age of 17, he begins performing magic with a traveling troupe. 1837, age 23, he put a touring show together which lasted for 3 years. So now he's touring with his own show at the age of 23. 1840, age 26, Anderson settled in London and opened the new Strand Theatre. This is so significant because here he's creating his own theater that's stationary. He's not trouping, he's not traveling. He's in one spot, people are coming to him. 1845, at the age of 31, the completion of Henry Anderson's second theater, the City Theatre. In November, only 4 months after opening, the theater burned and Anderson's financial losses were considerable. In 1846, at the age of 32, through the aid of his show business friends, Anderson was able to launch a new show in London's Covent Garden Theatre. 1847, age 33, he toured Europe, traveling to Hamburg, Stockholm, St. Petersburg, where he performed for Tsar Nicholas I. 1849, at the age of 35, Anderson returned to London to perform for Queen Victoria and Prince Albert. 1850, at the age of 36, Anderson toured America, Canada, Australia, and Hawaii. In 1853, at the age of 39, in Boston, an illusion involving Anderson's dispensing of various alcoholic beverages to the audience caused a legal controversy regarding temperance in that city. 1859, at the age of 45, he launches another world tour. 1862, at the age of 48. At the age of 18, John Henry Jr. left his father's troupe, began his own independent career as a conjurer. This started a bitter feud between father and son, and the two never spoke again. Now, when Mexie asked me to do this, he referenced an anecdote that I thought was quite funny, and I'll share it with you. The essence is this. So John Henry Anderson, known as the Wizard of the North, is doing an American tour during or around the Civil War period. And he goes to the South, billing himself as the Wizard of the North. Not good, not good. But the anecdote is from Isn't It Wonderful? A History of Magic and Mystery by Charles Bertram, 1896, page 40 to 41. One of two anecdotes of the wizard are worth repeating. He had the misfortune to pay his first visit to America when the War of Succession was at its height. Sutton was sent ahead to make the boom, or as we would say in this country, to do the advertising. He found himself in Virginia on the day Fort Sumter was bombarded. He had some bill stickers with him, posting up gigantic placards of the Wizard of the North, Professor Anderson's portrait at the top. The Southerners eyed the stranger with deep suspicion. To sound the praises of the Wizard of the North in the rebellious South was a most perilous procedure. The placards were seized, the poor bill strikers ruthlessly buffeted, and Sutton himself had to flee for his life. Every placard was torn off the walls, and the head of the Wizard of the North exhibited as a traitor. 1866, at the age of 52, he launches another world tour. In 1874, at the age of 60, he passes away at the Fleece Hotel in Darlington, County Durham. He was buried next to his brother, Aberdeen. Harry Houdini, who was born the same year as Anderson's death. revered Anderson as one of his inspirations, and in 1909 arranged for the upkeep of the gravesite of John Henry Anderson, which had fallen into disrepair. So Mexie, I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for asking for it. I have not done it before. I've not visited John Henry Anderson before. I appreciate that you asked for it. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment down below. Please subscribe if you've not done so already. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day.